Thomist, Catholic philosophy, well, you're getting your natural rights from God. You're getting it from that. If you derive your natural rights from this, like, secularist, like Kantian, David Hume or something like that, from some liberal Enlightenment perspective, in some secular way, well, that's totally different. Very different sort of natural rights doctrine. In some sense, you could say that a communist, in some sense, believes in natural rights in a certain way. Or rights, this sort of rights thinking, rights. So you're right, it is sort of contingent.
Recognizes that chopping kids' dicks off with chemicals is not the route to go for our country. And of course, he also realizes as a comedian, not only does he want to keep his money fiscally, but of course, how is he going to actually have a job if so many people who are offended are trying to deplatform him off of his job or off the stage just because he says things they don't like making fun of transgenders. As if, why do we care if someone makes fun of transgenders? I don't. Does that make me a transphobe? No. I don't care if they make fun of you either. Does that mean I don't like you? Maybe. Maybe you're a dick and you don't have a personality and nobody likes you because you suck. Maybe you have nothing going for you. It's not because you're transgender. Maybe you even became transgender because you didn't have an identity. You didn't know what to do with your life. Because I'm going to tell you what, transgenderism is a joke today. You used to be able to be transgender as a mental illness, gender identity disorder, gender associated disorder. That wasn't a joke. When someone had a mental disorder and believed they were in the wrong body, and it was diagnosed as a real thing that could happen that required medical prognosis and diagnosis, that's serious. That's scary. And I feel bad for you, actually. That's really, really scary. And I wish you the best. I wish you the best of counseling. But now to be transgender means you're anything. And now you can get mad at anybody for what? In California, it's more illegal to mispronounce someone.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about now? How did we get here?
You realize that a lot of people that are even fiscally conservative with their money are also constitutionally conservative in the fact that they care about the First Amendment. And like Dave Chappelle said, he said that you need to have the Second Amendment to preserve the First. And so when you look at this, does Rob Smith need to be, what, white or Christian or straight to want to keep his money, to see laissez-faire, to be able to have his right to free speech, to have the right to bear arms? No, he doesn't have to be. And so this argument that this group is making that is very ethnocentric,
this is just such a load of crap. Sorry, Elijah, I like you, but this is just a load of shit. Cardi B, Dave Chappelle, dude, what are you talking about? Are you arguing that Dave Chappelle is a self-interested person and is pursuant to his career that he supports legal protections for free speech? Oh yeah, sure. What does that have to do with conservatism? What does that have to do with right-wing? Are you arguing that Cardi B is a self-interested, and I don't say that exactly as in a negative way, but just descriptively, that Cardi B, for her own interests, wants her to be less taxes so she can keep money? What does that have to do with conservatism? She's not a neoliberal. She doesn't think about the nature of man and liberty and that kind of thing. She wants more money. Okay, you have a self-interested retard celebrity. Congratulations. How is being a neoliberal conservative? Okay, Dave Chappelle, is a comedian who wants free speech. How does that make him conservative? How is that conservative? What is the standard? What is your definition? He's just sort of saying things. He's just saying things. There's not really any thought to the how or the why. Okay, we have these fiscal conservatives, and this is what they believe. Okay, but how are they conservative? What is conservatism? If all these different words are modifiers on top of conservatism, well, what is the fundamental idea that they're sort of, that they're manifesting in their own way, and a shade of it, right? If conservatism is its own thing, and you're a fiscal conservative or a social conservative or constitutional conservative, there must be some commonalities here, right? If all these words used to modify the same thing, and we're determining, well, what does this word mean? Where is that shared definition? Where are those shared ideas or shared values? He's just saying things. Well, this is a fiscal conservative, and this is what they believe. On a totally unrelated note, here's another conservative, this is what they believe. Okay, but how is it conservative? We still have yet to answer what is conservatism. And then he's just going into Rob Smith is black, and that means he can vote to keep more money? What are you talking about? What are you even saying? What does that have to do with anything? Well, Rob Smith is black and gay, and that means he could vote to keep more of his money as a fiscal conservative. Like, yeah, like, he can be a neoliberal and wants to keep more money with his paycheck. And what is conservatism? What is conservatism? What does that mean? We're 25 minutes in and we don't have any definition. Oh, it's just crap. It's just a load of fucking shit, dude. No offense, but it's like, it just sucks. I don't even read that much, but I've read enough to know that this is just trash. This is just the most surface level kind of thinking, the most NPC kind of thinking. And I like Elijah. He's a smart guy. He's like a nurse or something. You know, so he went to medical school, I think. But it's like, he's just uninformed. This is your brain on, like, Fox News. This is your brain on PragerU and Truth Revolt Originals. This is your brain on, you know, buying the latest Rush Limbaugh book. Or this is your brain on Pinheads and Patriots by Bill O'Reilly. It's just a load of crap. There's no deeper thinking. There's no higher level thinking happening.
It really promotes this disdain for anyone who doesn't follow this overly zealous religious lifestyle as being fake conservatives as false. But it doesn't negate the fact that there is a strong need for overly zealous, religious, and God-fearing people in this country. Now, whether or not you want to make the debate of whether Rob Smith can be a gay Christian, can you practice homosexuality and be a faith? Well, a lot of my viewers aren't even Christian. They go, what the hell? I don't even care. Now, as a Christian, of course, in my own right, I think anybody can go to heaven that struggles with any sin. I don't think you can openly practice sin and take it on as your identity and go to heaven as your identity. That's my view. But I also want to say that if you're going to single out people who practice homosexuality, then you got to single out fornicators as well, liars. I mean, people who are having straight sex outside of marriage. Why single out the one sin? Because if you're looking for moral retribution and to have this redemption, this authority, this autonomy replaced back in our country, then the hell, you've got to talk about it as an overarching syndrome, or else you do risk coming off homophobic, with whether or not you believe you.
We do all that, but we do all that. We are a Christian movement. And the point is this. Rob Smith has made his identity sin. And they're using his sin to promote their organization. They're using his sin in a positive way to promote their political ideology. So it's not singling him out because of his sin, because I think Elijah makes a good point. It is true. Struggling with sin, being repentant, you know, that's everyone, right? Everybody struggles with sins. And as long as you're repentant, you go to heaven, right? As long as you're, well, and you have to be within the church. You have to be in a state of grace. I mean, there's some other technicalities there, but point being, everybody sins. You repent, right? But we're not singling him out because he sins. We're singling him out because he goes around saying, I'm the gay black guy. You know, I'm the gay black conservative. If Charlie Kirk said, I'm the fornicator, right? If Charlie Kirk said, I am the one who bears false witness, that's me. That's my identity. We're so tolerant of people that bear false witness. We want more people that are fornicators. Look at me. I'm a fornicator. I tolerate fornication. That's base. If that was the case, we'd be attacking it too. We know that it's the homosexual or, you know, sexual deviant attack on the culture that is the most pervasive threat right now. So, that's that. Oh, you run the risk of being homophobic. Well, I thought you were Christian. That doesn't exist. What do you mean homophobic? What does that mean? Yeah, I mean, look, I don't hate gay people on some level, right? But people that practice homosexuality, they're hurting themselves, they're hurting society. It's something that demons love. Demons love sodomy. So we hate that. And certainly we can hate a lot of them. I mean, we can hate a lot of them that are pushing this stuff on our kids. We can hate the ones that are spreading disease. We can hate... There's a lot of sinister, malicious stuff going on in the gay community that you should hate. I'm not, you know, somebody comes up and says, hi, you know, whatever, and they happen to be homosexual, I'm not going to say, oh, I hate you because of that. Because there's a lot of people living in sin for various reasons. So, and it's, again, it's not to excuse that. But all this is to say, well, you run the risk of sounding homophobic. Dude, what kind of Christian are you? yeah, we don't like homosexuality. We hate sodomy. We hate people that mock God with that. Now, is that to say that people with homosexual temptations can't go to heaven? Well, that's a different conversation. Is that to say that somebody can't be a repentant homosexual? Of course not. You can be that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about somebody that openly says, I'm the gay black conservative, join my cause. And they're normalizing it, and they're promoting it. That's not tolerance. That's promoting it. That's normalizing it. It's communicating to young people that it's acceptable. And it's not. So, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. And here's another thing. Look, you can be black and things we're saying resonate. You can be black and understand what we're saying about demographic change. You could be gay and understand what we're saying about homosexuality, by the way. You know, I think intrinsic in all of this is that, you know, on some level, people's lifestyles affect what they believe in everything. But on another level, you know, maybe there's an issue of hypocrisy or something, but I've had people come up to me at various events, and they're not white, and they love my show. And it's because you don't have to be white to understand the things that we're saying about white people or the nation or order or whatever else. You don't even have to be Catholic to understand what we're saying about Catholicism. You know, JF, I did shows with him. The guy's a cringe, like, atheist libertarian. He agrees with me that atheists have a real problem with establishing objective morality in the absence of a transcendent power that establishes it, right? So this is just like a mess. It's saying like, oh, well, a black guy, you know, identifies as conservative, so, you know, there you go. Like, well, black people can also agree with us too. You know, it kind of doesn't really matter. We're talking about ideas, not the people that espouse them.
Or whether or not you think the LGBTQ movement has gone too far, which it has, it's kind of gotten really disgusting. It's gotten very degenerate. I would agree with you on that. Nobody likes these gay pride parades or think they're good for our communities or our country. But if you're going to think that, you know what, hey, my ultimate goal of a gay person is to tell them, you're not welcome here, you're not real, rather than, hey, have you heard the truth? Can I speak to you out of love? Even out of love with a harsh, you know, heart, I don't know, righteous anger, saying, I want you to be safe. Can we have a discussion? If your ultimate goal is to condemn and push them out, you've created a right-wing mob that is no better than the left-wing mob.
Here we go again with the moral relativism. So let's have two scenarios. You've got somebody who has murdered and raped a whole family. You know, they raped the wife, raped the kids, let's just say raped the dad, killed them all. A mob takes up arms to hunt down this vile person and take him out. On the other side, you've got a left-wing mob of Antifa that's going into a Catholic church and destroying crucifixes and spray painting and, you know, killing people in the church. You've got two mobs. Well, they're both mobs. Everything's the same. Everyone's equally culpable. We're against the idea of collective action. We're against the idea of collectivized, unified action. Clearly, there is something wrong with this way of thinking. With this moral relativism. That, well, hey, oh, you've got a mob on this side, a mob on that side. Oh, you've just become as bad as the other person. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. A mob going against immorality versus a mob promoting immorality are two different things. The problem is not the mob. The problem is the one that promotes immorality. And the same argument made with the state. It's like, oh, well, you know, you're against the state promoting homosexuality, but you want the state to promote traditional marriage? Well, that's hypocritical. It's not. Because one is good and one is evil. And it's that simple. And the state should promote things that are good and not promote things that are evil. We cannot do anything, because anything that we do might be making some kind of a... everything that we do is colored with either a moral or an immoral intention, right? So all action must stop. All actions, all thoughts. Thinking an immoral thing versus thinking a moral thing. Well, you're thinking, you know, shut it down. Acting morally, acting immorally. Well, you know, you say that people shouldn't act immorally, but here you are acting morally. acting, I'm saying in a higher sense, action, human action. Oh, well, must not act. No one can act. No one can speak. No one can think. It's just dumb, dude. It's just dumb. And by the way, it's not about Rob Smith being a homosexual. It's about Rob Smith being a homosexual on the Turning Point USA stage on college campuses. That's the problem. We're not going up and saying, hey, you, we don't like you. We don't like your kind around here. We're saying, why are you up there? This is supposed to be a conservative organization that promotes conservative Christian values. And who is the audience? It's young people, impressionable young people. The tour is called Culture War. We're in a time where degeneracy and deviancy is being pushed on children. You know, the scope, the scale in terms of degeneracy, it's unprecedented. It's more degenerate than ever. It's reaching more people and more young people than ever. Why are you on that stage promoting that? I don't care. Look, if Rob Smith wants to go to hell, that's his prerogative, okay? I don't hate Rob Smith. I really don't. I've never met him. I don't hate people that I don't know, really, because I don't know them. If we have interacted indirectly, you know, maybe, but I don't know him personally. Maybe he's a nice guy. You know, he can be a sinner and be nice, yes. He can be corrupted or disordered and be a nice person. You know, be friendly. I can treat that person with dignity or respect. If he wants to make that choice, I'm really a lot less concerned about the state of his soul than what he, and worse, Charlie Kirk is promoting. Charlie Kirk is a Christian who's against homosexuals. Why is he bringing him on the stage to talk to young people to try to normalize this? You're normalizing it. It's not to say that homosexuals don't exist, or that they won't even be in the movement, but they're on the stage as unrepentant and talking about it like it's a good thing. I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable. You know, and Charlie Kirk keeps bringing up Peter Thiel. I don't think Peter Thiel is promoting it. I think it would be more appropriate for him to be on the stage. I mean, it's a sad thing that he's unrepentant and so on, but at the bare minimum, he's not like openly, oh yeah, I'm proud of it, and that's good and normal, and I can be a Christian at the same time. So he's saying, oh, well, you want to go up and condemn. Yeah, damn right we do. Why do we have the so-called Christian conservative movement promoting degeneracy to young people? You can have homosexuals, just don't have them on the stage talking to all the young people, and they're trying to normalize this stuff. I don't know what people believe in their heart of hearts, but we have to know what they're saying.
Because what's becoming is this iconoclastic group of right-wingers who are creating this ultra-nationalistic, immigrant-centered, white-centered view of what America is and should be, and if you don't fall into their ultimate conservative views, not only are you a traitor, you're about the destruction of your own race, you're looking against God and the people of this country, and they throw you out. So what we've had is in response
Wait, pause. And here's the irony. We're not throwing anyone out. Throwing people out of what? We're not throwing anyone out of anything. If anything, it's the opposite, obviously. It's quite the opposite. We are trying to embrace the big tent. You're talking about the Groypers, and I'm, the largest Groyper. I'm the biggest mouth of the Groypers. This is just objectively true. I'm here to say that we're willing to be in a big tent movement with other people. But don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. You want to have a homosexual on the stage? Whatever, okay? Maybe at some point in time we have to cobble together an electoral coalition. I'm not going to say we shouldn't have these people vote for the same party. I'm against it. I'll debate you with it. I'll whatever. But we're willing to have the conversation. We're willing to be in the Big Ten movement, broadly speaking. That's a position. We want to be a faction within the right wing. We're the ones getting thrown out and blacklisted. We're not saying unless you meet our rigorous standards. We're saying if you say you're a Christian, then explain this shit. If you say you're a nationalist, then explain the hypocrisy. And we're getting thrown out for it. So it's quite the opposite. They're telling us if you don't fit our hyper, multiracial, degenerate, libertine, liberal ideology, then we'll throw you out. Because we're not saying anything that's not in the Bible or that's not in the Constitution or whatever. So it's all wrong. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. you know, this idea, oh, we're this ultra-nationalistic zealot and we'll kick everyone out and blah, blah, blah. It's the opposite. We are coming to have a good faith